Okay, I'm on my at least 5th or 6th round of sanding between coats. I'm using 400 wet and dry, and the first few sandings between coats were intense. You're filling in pores and minor things that you didn't see or didn't know about. The lacquer sure shows them up. And now on this 5th, maybe 6th, I don't know, I didn't count how many layers it is, but the sanding is super easy. I'm just taking out some super minor imperfections. I had one spot on the top that must have had a pollutant in it or some kind, and it caused a little fisheye, and I had a hair on the side, no, a hair on the back. So when I sanded the back, I sanded the whole thing, and I sanded the whole front. So I figured the sides really didn't need much, but I figured I would hit them while I'm here. Sanding the whole guitar probably hasn't taken 10 minutes, maybe 15. And you just get it in the light reflection to make sure you get all of the imperfections out. I'm not going to sand the neck or the headstock because it's in excellent shape. And I probably won't spray it again. Got one little divot in the finish right there, and I may drop fill that little spot tonight and let it dry for tomorrow, and then sand that one little tiny spot. Then tomorrow I'll put another coat on it. I don't want to spray tonight because of any moisture that could be lingering and cause a blush in the finish at this point. I could probably just buff this out and it would be okay. It's got that much lacquer on it. But real easy to put another coat on. So I'll let it dry and do that in the morning. Today is the last day of January. That's how long I've been working on the finish. So approximately 3 weeks. And after it sits, lacquer really does cure from the inside out, and it shrinks, and you think you got it, and a week later you'll see some imperfections. So we'll keep moving until we get it done right. Okay, I've got lacquer done reasonably well, and I am put the tuners just back on it. I'm going to string it up and I'm going to play it, and it's going to take it a week or so. The lacquer has set for not quite 48 hours, so it's enough that I can touch it reasonably well, not have to worry about marring it up. So I will get it strung up and try to set the action and mess with that. That'll take a little bit. I'll bring you back when I get the strings on it and start tightening it up. Okay, strings are on it. Now I got to tune it. Well, it's got a nice low end. I think that's a bad string. It just sounds bad. My string gauge is in millimeters, so we're at 3.55. 3.55. Let me write that down. Need to come down a millimeter. Well, that's 2 millimeters back here, but I have to do cross references. This gauge was half the price of the fractional one, and I figure I'll do some math because I'm a cheapskate. And I'm going to say this one is 3.6. We're going to say it is 2.45. 2.45. third one. And we're going to say it is 3.2. 3.15. I can hear it and see it moving just slightly. And I keep sliding it in until I get to that. That is 3.3. But I think these need to come down. We're going to say that is 0.8. Well, if I had been smart, I would have wrote that over on the side. 0.8. And it went right on that side for some reason. Wow, that one is close there. I'm going to say that one is 0.6. That was probably good. Let's go to the third one. That one's 0.5. That one's 0.65. That one's 0.65 also. Oh, that's the same one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stoop. That was the same one. At least I measured right. That one's 0.75. This is 1.1. Alright. I gotta do a little math to figure out what that relates to in thousandths. I could have swore actually that I bought the thousandths of an inch one. The imperial one instead of the metric one. But once I learn what it is, it'll be just as good. I won't have a problem. I might even put a little mark on the side here showing which one what I prefer to have them set at on a dreadnought. So as a reminder. Okay, I'll be back as soon as I figure out what I'm doing. Okay, I've gone through this thing twice, and I've 3 times. My third time is I'm still just a little high. I only have one bone saddle, so I don't want to totally mess this up. So tomorrow, when I'm rested, probably going to lower it down a little bit more. Still just a little high, and I might have gotten it a little too low on the nut, but I'm going to play it just a little bit. It plays pretty well right now. Putting the varnish, the lacquer on it, sure muffled it down compared to without the lacquer. And it has an under saddle pickup on it. I think that cuts down on it a little bit. I might pull that out just to see a comparison. About the best I can do. So, do it again tomorrow. It needs to set for a while anyway to make sure it's set in good. This is my third go around on the setup. I've measured it. I've got myself a little table that I printed out so I don't have to do all the math and make a math mistake and screw up things. But basically, if you need to go down 10 thousandths here, that means you have to take the saddle down 20 thousandths, twice that much, because 12th fret is halfway between these two. So whatever you move this, it only moves half that in the center. So I don't know if that makes sense, but if you think about it, it will. So you measure what it is, then what you want to go to. In my case, I'm measuring it with millimeters because that's the gauge I have. I don't have, when I ordered it, I thought I was ordering a thousands, but I got the millimeter one. Anyway, I'm measuring at 2.05 millimeters on the first string, the high E, and I want it to be at 1.6. So that's a change times 2 of 1.3. I need to lower this down 1.3 millimeters. These get progressively smaller. I need to lower this one 1.1, 0.8, 0.8, 0.9, and then this one is wrong. Oh, 0.2 is what I need to go down because I'm pretty dang close on that one. That doesn't make right. I'm going to remeasure because I think I've got something wrong. I think this 6th string needs to go more. Where's my glasses? Actually, I got to lower the 2 ends down and then the center down just ever so slightly. We're talking less than half a millimeter, so it's not a lot. So I'm going to pull that out and do it. It's quite an involved process. It takes a lot of time to set up a guitar properly. My nut height here was pretty close before I started, so it might end up being a little bit low. I sure hope not, because I don't want to have to make another nut. But, alright, so now I'm going to take my micrometer, set to millimeters, zero it out, and gauge it here. I've already got a mark that I didn't sand to the last time. I probably should have just trusted my mark, and that probably would have worked. I've got 0.9, so let me see if I can get my caliper set to 0.9. 0.95, there it goes, 0.9 exactly. Leave it there, so make sure I get the right side. That's basically what it is. I just need to trust my mark and sand it down to it. Do that on both ends because it's 0.9 down here too. And in the middle it's 0.4. So let me see if I can get it down to 0.4. 0.42, 0.43 is as close as I can get it. So we're going to go from there, and that's just a breath. Okay. Let me erase that. I got it down in the groove, so let me erase what's on top. I will be back. I'm going to take a grinder and grind off just at least a little bit of this out in the shop. Then I'm going to come back and do the final with sandpaper. I decided to do it all with sandpaper. I got some 150, 220, and some 400. And this is relatively smooth. I think I'm going to use this that I know it's very smooth to take off the roughness. I am not holding this at a 90-degree angle. If this is the saddle, 90 degrees, I'm actually holding it probably at a 15, 20-degree angle so that the leading front edge of the saddle will be the high point, and the strings will rest on that, and then they'll slope back into the holes. And the only thing touching will be the front leading edge. And just a touch on the 440 to smooth it out and around the edges a little bit. That looks pretty good. Hopefully, a little luck, this is the last time. clean that up so I don't have to pull it back off. Alright, let's tighten it back down once. Let's see what we get. Come on, fingers. There we go. Get that in the right slot. Helps when you turn it on. Well, that was right on. Got lucky. I was a little concerned because before I had it action adjusted, it was up high. I was noting these and it was noting a little bit sharp. So I was stretching the strings, I guess. I don't know, but it's noting not perfect right now. So hallelujah. That makes me feel good. Oh man, that is a low action. This is a 21, maybe 22,000 spick, and it sticks. Sticks well here. It's actually just a touch loose on the low E. It touches, but I may lower that one down just a fuzz if I need to. That one's good. Yeah, so this one. That one might need it just the tiniest little bit. So let me check tune one more time. Towards you so get the better sound. Sounds pretty good. It's easy playing, there's no buzz. Let me go up and down the frets here. Bit of buzz going on there. Probably more just my noting. You might notice I'm missing a 12th fret. I've got to put that back in. It was loose and I put some filler in it to tighten it up. Now I've got to recut it and reinstall it. I don't think so. That plays pretty doggone good. Oh, my head's cut off. I apologize for that, but I'm very happy with that. That plays nice. It is muted a little bit from my very first notes that I played on it because the finish is on it now. They all sound fantastic without a finish. And I put a heavy finish on this, which tends to mute it down, tone it down some. I don't know if I regret that, but I sure hate the sound difference from what it was. They always sound so fantastic whenever there's no finish on them. But as this finish hardens, it's only 3 days old now. Well, not even 3 days, 2.5 days right now. Tonight it'll be 3 days. And today is the 3rd, it's Saturday, February 3rd, I think is what it is. It's Saturday anyway. And first Saturday of 2024. Give this a couple months and it should crisp up a little bit. And give it 20 years and it should really come into its own. It's no slouch now. I sent bouquet for Mother's Day, for Father's Day, a shirt and a card. Though they came from the heart, they all fell short of saying how special you both are. It wasn't till I was up and grown, married with a couple of kids of my own, doing what mamas and daddies do, that I realized what I must have put you through. So thanks again for the love in the cradle and all the changes that kept me dry. And thanks again for the love at our table and tanning my bottom when I told you a lie. For taking me fishing and flying my kite and tucking me in night after night. To my beautiful lifelong friend, Mom and Dad, thanks again. I'm still a young man, at least I think I am, but I'm watching my hair turn gray. And your call last Sunday brought to mind that I owe you a debt that I could never repay. So thanks again for the worrying and waiting when I started dating on weekend nights. And thanks again for the help with my homework and staying up with me till I got it right. Your car for the prom, your letters and all, but most of all, Daddy, for Mary and Mom. To my beautiful lifelong friends, Mom and Daddy, thanks again. To my beautiful lifelong friends, dear Mom and Daddy, thanks again. Oh, I love the sound. Today's mail, I finally got some screws. I couldn't find any at the local hardware stores to put screws in the 4 corners of the truss rod cover. I just have it tacked on with a little dab of glue right now. So I'm going to find a screw that's the appropriate size. This is definitely a magnifier. Wow, these are tiny. I think this tiniest one is probably the right size, but I don't think I have a drill bit that small. That's the smallest screw they sent me. Let me go out and see if I can, let me try a test hole. push into the hole. So I think it's probably going to be okay. Let me find a screwdriver. Work for this. That looks like it's just about the right size, so I will try it. I'm going to have to loosen up these strings. Start the top screw, the glue pop loose, so I keep it centered. Well, that is the perfect size screw for that. It's not looking perfectly centered here, but it's not centered down here. So I must have made my truss rod cover slightly out of square. Oh well. There we go. That is the final piece to put on this guitar, was those 3 little tiny screws. They just came in today. Today is, what is the date? February 10th, I believe. February 10th, Saturday. It is 8:13. Just got home. So I've got my little peg strap, and I've got the pickup installed, and you can see the volume knob is in here. There's nothing left to do to this guitar except buff out the finish. The finish, even though it's as shiny as it is, it's never been buffed. I do have some small runs that I have sanded and smoothed out, especially right here and in this corner. That will need to be buffed, but I'm going to buff the whole guitar, and it will just be a tiny bit shinier. So thanks for watching.